Hey guys, this is Naman Mittal welcoming you all to Daily News Nuts, an initiative of Prep Nuts. Today the date is 8th of June 2020 and we shall be seeing here all the important articles that an aspirant must go through from the exam's perspective. आज near about two articles हैं हमारे पास from the Hindu, one article is there from Indian Express and one from PIB. आज बहुत ज्यादा कम आर्टिकल्स हैं and all these articles are very light in nature. The first article on the front page of the Hindu is Restore April status along LAC India. So in past few days we have been seeing that the talks between India and China on the India-China ongoing border issues are being conducted. तो पहले फॉरेन मिनिस्ट्रियल लेवल पे टॉक्स कंडक्ट हुई, देन द टॉक्स वर फॉलोड बाय द सीनियर मिलिट्री कमांडर्स ऑफ बोथ द कंट्रीज दैट इज इंडिया एंड चाइना, एंड these talks have set the stage for the further discussions to take place between both the countries. So India is firm on its demand that the China should step back and India will not stop the border infra work, which is the key demand of China. And this was recently expressed by the allocation done by the Ministry of Home Affairs of about 10% of the centrally sponsored schemes to the border area development program, wherein the border infra work would further be expedited despite China having major objections on the same. तो यहाँ पे एक अच्छी चीज ये है कि जो भी टॉक्स कंडक्ट हो रही हैं, दे आर टेकिंग प्लेस इन अ कॉर्डियल एंड पॉजिटिव एटमॉस्फेयर, एंड बोथ कंट्रीज हैव reiterated that the issue will not be further escalated and a peaceful solution would soon be arrived at. This is again a small update with respect to the India-China border tensions, and to know more about the issue in detail you can click on the I button above or check out the link in the description box below. Now let us move on to our next article. In the Persian Gulf littoral, cooperative security is the key. So Persian Gulf के around 8 countries हैं: Bahrain, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia and the UAE, and all of them are part of GCC, which was formed in 1981 except Iran and Iraq. Till 1970, for about 8 decades, Persian Gulf was administered by the Britishers and it was treated as a British lake. और जब ब्रिटिशर्स ने एब्डिकेट करा अपना वहां पे रूल, then regional players started to assert their authority onto that region, and then came into the picture United States of America, जिसने उस region को stabilize करने की कोशिश करी to the American hegemony of the Nixon and Carter. But at the time of the Iranian Revolution and the Iran-Iraq War, this interest of the USA got further enhanced, and it was that time when the GCC had taken place. GCC ने अपने initial days में काफी success achieve करी, but during and after the 1990s, this Gulf region or the Persian Gulf region became an external issue for each and every global power of that time. So it was no longer a regional issue of these countries, but an external issue of other countries as well, जिसके कारण यहाँ पे जियोपॉलिटिक्स रिलेटेड स्ट्रेटेजिक मूव्स काफी ज्यादा ऑब्जर्व किए गए. पर फाइनली द पर्शियन गल्फ रीजन गॉट सीवियरली अफेक्टेड बाय द वेस्ट एशियन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स like those in Yemen, Libya, Syria, etc. तो इन कंट्रीज में जब कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स इंक्रीज हुए, उसने जियोपॉलिटिकल स्टेबिलिटी पर्शियन गल्फ की भी इम्बैलेंस कर दी, एंड इट वाज फर्दर एग्रावेटेड बाय द यूएस अंडर द प्रेसिडेंसी ऑफ द डोनाल्ड ट्रंप, who decided to withdraw from the JCPOA, thereby allowing Iran to liberate itself of all the restrictions put on it and emerge out as a big player of that region. तो ये एक बहुत छोटी सी briefing है about the Persian Gulf region right from the 1970s till the 2016, which clearly shows the levels of the instability in the Persian Gulf region, especially when there are two superpowers, Iran and Saudi Arabia, conflicting each other over the hegemony of that region. And with the involvement of so many superpowers like France, China, Russia and US in that region, the relevance of GCC or the OPEC, that is the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, have actually become ineffective and almost irrelevant. What is required today in that region is cooperative security arrangements in place of the competitive security arrangements, which have failed to yield any result since the formation of the GCC and the involvement of the United States in that region. यहाँ पे इंडिया और पर्शियन गल्फ के बारे में थोड़ा सा मेंशन्ड है about their ties. So major things are that the economic and political relationship with almost all the countries of the Gulf have blossomed in the recent years. अगर हम bilateral trade की बात करें, so it is near around $121 billion and there are around $49 billion of remittances from that region. Also 34% of crude imports of India come from that region. And recently the national oil companies of Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi have agreed to invest near about $44 billion in the Ratnagiri oil refinery. Similarly, Aramco, which is the national oil company of the Saudi Arabia, has reported to take near about 20% stake in the Reliance oil to chemical business. So economic और political relationship काफी ज्यादा strong है इंडिया की इस region से. So इंडिया को इस वक्त जो role play करना चाहिए, that is to facilitate the alternative cooperative security arrangements for the sustained stability of that region in place of the competitive security arrangements by leveraging its relation with all the countries of that particular region. So overall it's a good article and a must read from our side. Now let us move on to our next article. Reimagining the city. यहाँ पे ऑल्टरनेटिव मॉडल ऑफ अर्बनाइजेशन की बात हुई है आफ्टर द कोविड पेंडेमिक. सो अर्बनाइजेशन का एक रफ स्केच अगर हम ड्रॉ करने की कोशिश करें तो टिल अबाउट 1880s द डेकेडल ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड वाज नियर अबाउट 0.8%. But after 1880s till today, that is in near about 180 years, this decadal growth has increased to near about 11%. तो इससे ये समझ में आता है कि कितनी ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ बढ़ी है पिछले 180 सालों में, जिसके कारण सबसे ज्यादा बर्डन बेयर करा है अर्बन सिटीज एंड टाउन्स ने. एंड टुडे cities consume 2/3 of the global energy and account for near about 70% of the greenhouse gas emissions. यहाँ पे एक और important data mentioned है given by the UN which can be utilized by you, which is by 2030 28% of the world's population will live in dense congested spaces, jostling for ever dwindling space and choked infrastructure. इसका मतलब ये है कि by 2030 28% of the population will be living in unlivable conditions because the infra of cities would be choked. यहाँ पे एक example भी mentioned है, that is of the Dharavi slum in Mumbai, which says that the density of that place is near about 3.7 lakh persons per square kilometer. To understand this better, let me tell you that the India's density is near about 380 persons per square kilometer. The highest density in India and across the world is in Delhi or the NCR region, which is near about 11,000 persons per square kilometer. और यहाँ पे धारावी की density mentioned है 3.75 lakh persons per square kilometer. So here the infra is already choked or doesn't exist at all. तो ये कुछ डेटा है जो आप लोग यूज कर सकते हैं to give the example of the growing urbanization or the prospects of the urbanization. So two major reasons for the urbanization across the world are basically the economies of agglomeration and the multidisciplinary interactions through which ideas and innovations emerge out. तो ये दो reasons के कारण urbanizations इतनी speed से grow कर रहे थे और expand कर रहे थे. But these two ideas do not find relevance in the today's time, especially after the post-coronavirus pandemic, because of the digital expansion or the cloud services which have facilitated better agglomeration and better interaction at the greater levels for such ideas to emerge. So the alternative model of urbanization presented out here in this article is on the lines of what the Gandhiji's model of Gram Swaraj was, APJ Abdul Kalam's idea of providing urban amenities in the rural areas, and Nanaji Deshmukh's idea of self-reliant village development. So the new model of urbanization basically will revolve around the development of agriculture, industry and service sectors, which will move all together in sync for the sustainable development. So this was the crux of this article, which can be used in your paper 1 and paper 2 under the urbanization, and can also be used by the geography optional students to throw some light on the latest developments of urbanization after the COVID pandemic. Now let us see our last article from the PIB. ARCI develops rare earth based magnetocaloric material for cancer treatment. इस आर्टिकल से जो आपको पिक करना है, that is all about the ARCI number 1, about the magnetocaloric number 2, and all about the magnetic hyperthermia. So ARCI, which is the International Advanced Research Center for Power Metallurgy and New Materials, which is an autonomous R&D center of the DST or the Department of Science and Technology. It has basically developed a rare earth based magnetocaloric material जो कि कैंसर ट्रीटमेंट में यूज किया जा सकता है. तो magnetocaloric materials basically are certain materials in which application and removal of magnetic field causes the material to become warmer or cooler. तो ऐसे मटेरियल्स जिनमें मैग्नेटिक फील्ड को यूज करते हुए उनको वार्म या कूल किया जा सकता है, दे आर बेसिकली द मैग्नेटो-कैलोरिक मटेरियल्स. This is important from the prelims perspective. Second is the magnetic hyperthermia, which are used to address the issues of the side effects of cancer treatment through chemotherapies. तो मैग्नेटिक हाइपरथर्मिया में मैग्नेटिक नैनोपार्टिकल्स को सब्जेक्ट किया जाता है ऑल्टरनेट मैग्नेटिक फील्ड से, जिसके कारण हीट प्रोड्यूस होती है टू द मैग्नेटिक रिलैक्सेशन लॉसेस. So these are some of the terms out here which are important from the prelims perspective. You can give a quick read to this article of the PIB. This article being the last article of the day, guys, we shall wrap up the daily news nuts of the day. Please post your suggestions, doubts, queries in the comment section below. Keep learning, guys. Thank you.